Today I'm going to show you how to change the oil on a KTM 950 Supermoto. A bit of a challenge, especially when you're doing it for the first time, because there's 5 different spots where you need to drain the oil, clean some screens, change filters and stuff. But we'll get to that. That's pretty much all we need for it. Got some spare copper washers. We're gonna need a 8mm socket, also a 19 and a 13, some oil pans, brake cleaner, and yeah, a lot of racks are always useful. So yeah, let's get started. So first we can take the oil cap off, which is here. That will drain the oil a bit quicker. Now, I've already warmed up the bike, so also helps drain the engine a bit quicker. And the bolt that you need to get to is here. And that here is a little magnet, so also you can kind of check the condition of your engine. The more of the stuff and debris you have here, the worse, obviously. This one doesn't look too bad, so lucky me. Now looks like we're gonna be reusing it. Not the end of the world, especially when the last time I bought the whole kit from KTM. So I bought all the new screens, all the new washers. So that one has only been used once, so not the end of the world. Now, gonna get an 8mm socket. And we're gonna get the first oil screen out, which is here. Green, like O-ring sort of seal. Also, that can be reused. This one is new because I just got it last time when I was doing that. And this is your screen, and you just pull. And again, the same thing, you can check if there's any like metal shavings on it. Again, this looks very tidy, so that's good news. When you put it in together, there's a mark here saying top, so obviously that goes on top when you slide it in. Now to drain a bit more oil out of that, because you can see it inside, I'm gonna take that off my stand, which is, by the way, a very cool thing for this bike. Abba stand, the best thing that came from the UK. My life a bit easier. Just gonna put that plug back in. Yeah, 20 Newton meters. Yep. Yeah, now we can get the rest out. Okay, that will do. Now the screen with a top mark on top can go in. Yep. Now to put that green seal back in that groove. So the manual says to put a bit of oil on that green seal. I found that every time I've done it, it started leaking from there, so I'm not gonna put any extra oil, but it's still quite greasy. I'm just not gonna degrease it with brake cleaner. And that's ready to go back in. So this one needs 10 Newton meters. Click, click, double check. Okay. And now we can go to the other side. Now we can drain the main tank, which is this bolt here. That's where the biggest amount of oil is sitting. As we are letting this drain, we're gonna take out the oil filter, which is sitting here, so you need to move those cables out of the way to get it. For that oil filter, we're gonna need an 8mm extension, make it easier. Okay, oil filter sitting in here, 8mm socket. Top bolt. And the bottom one. Interestingly, it has a little cut here, and you know, some guys it does matter if that's on the bottom or top. Mine that's at the bottom and it's okay. Some guys say if you turn it around then it may start leaking too, so it's just worth to put it whichever the way you had it on your bike. And that's where your filter sits. There are many ways of taking that out. I just finally got myself a magnet, which makes it much easier. But you can also just put like small nose pliers and put it inside, like spread it and then pull it. It works too. Also, when you take it out, if you see that your filter is wavy, those ribs are not straight, that may mean that your water pump is on the way out and is mixing coolant with oil. So always good to have a quick look at it. And the next thing we need to do when we're here, undo this, because that's where another oil screen sits. Yep, that's the one. So again, you check for little shavings like that, but again, that looks quite clean. So a little bit here, probably the wheelie session, recent one, grinding some gears. Okay, now I can put it all back together. Start with the oil filter. Before I had the genuine KTM. Now I went to KTM, they didn't have it. They had said that HF650 is pretty much the same one. I think they even make them in the same factory as the genuine KTM ones. So I used them before, so no problem. So we slide it back in. Now the cap goes back in. This one is only 6 Newton meters, so that's almost just a hand tight. Yep. Yep. Now the other screen is clean, it's going in now. We can put a little bit of oil on that rubber. Going straight in here. And these 2 bolts. This is 10 Newton meters. Click. And the last thing to go in is the magnetic plug, and this one is again 20. Now at the end we can brake clean everything. So then when you start it, when you try it out, you can see if you have any leaks. Now this time I'm using Moto full synthetic 10W50. From my experience, it takes usually close to 4 liters. So it's due to manual, it's recommended to fill the oil in 2 stages. So first you put 2.5 liters, start it just for a little bit to like run the fuel pump, oil pump, and then add the rest, which is usually just under 4 liters. That's 2. And now half of that bottle. A little more. Yeah. Okay, 2.5 liters in, so now we can close that and start it for a little bit. Engine light came out, so that's good. Okay, and now we can go back to topping it up. Never believed in any additives, but I'm gonna give this a go. Liquid moly additive. It's filled with molybdenum, which is supposed to stick to engine surfaces and give it better protection. He said the Russians used it on their tanks. That's why they got advantage of the German tanks during the World War II that wouldn't start in the freezing cold temperatures. And that thing, well, obviously not liquid moly, but that molybdenum stuff was the thing they used. So why not? The only thing with it makes oil really black, so as soon as you change it and you put that in, it looks really black as if you never changed it. But that clears out after a while when all that black stuff sticks to the surfaces of the engine. Okay, so now that's free. And the last one. The manual says kind of 3.6 liters, but I see it's usually just under 4. Especially when the oil expands quite a lot when you warm it up properly. So the best check is to to leave it somewhere around what I have now, and then take it for a good ride, warm up for like 15 minutes, and then give it a good check. So yeah, bit of a mess, but yeah, that's how you change oil on a 950 Supermoto.